Then let's see, that is the vermiform appendix. So it is the narrow worm like diverticulum which arises from the posteromedial wall of the cecum, about 2 cm below to the ileocecal junction. So here you can see that is the ileocecal junction, and from this 2 cm below, that is a worm like structure is present called the appendix. Okay. Then the parts of the appendix. So appendix here, the base which is present here, this one, then the body which is narrow and tubular part, and the tip which is least vascular and distal bind end. Okay. Then whenever externally you want to see the exact position of the appendix, so you can draw on the surface anatomy on the abdomen. So here in this diagram you can see, this is this one, that is the first point that should be taken on the umbilicus, and second point taken on the anterior superior iliac spine, and the imaginary line should be drawn, and from medial 2/3 and lateral 1/3 take a point, and this point it is called the McBurney's point, and that is the exact location of the appendix, this one. Actually this side, that is also called the transtubercular plane. Okay. After then we should have to see, that is the different position of the appendix. These are the location or the position of, that is the appendix. So most common position of the appendix, that is the retrocolic position, and that should be present into the 12 o'clock position. Second common position that should be occurs the 4 o'clock position, this one, that is called the pelvic position. Okay. Some positions they are also present, that is the in 11 o'clock position of the appendix, it is called the paracolic position. Some are present into the 2 o'clock position, so that is called the pre-ileal and the post-ileal. That is anterior to that the ileum, that should be called the pre-ileal, and posterior to the ileum, that is called the post-ileal. And the next position, that is the in the 3 o'clock position, so that is called the pronatoric position of the appendix. Okay. And last one, that is the 6 o'clock position, that is called the mid-inguinal position of the appendix. After then we should have to see, that is the relations, peritoneal relations of the appendix. So here in this diagram you can see the peritoneal relations. So here, that is the appendix that should be covered by the peritoneum, that is the part of the mesentery, this one, posterior part of the mesentery. So that is called the mesoappendix, this one. Okay. Then the blood supply or the arterial supply of the appendix, that is it is supplied by the single appendicular artery, which is the branch of the ileocolic artery. So here you can see this one, that is the single branch, that is the appendicular artery, and this is the branch of ileocolic artery, and this ileocolic artery, it is the branch of superior mesenteric artery. Okay. Then the venous drainage of the appendix, that is drains into the superior mesenteric vein, which drain into that the portal vein. The lymphatic drainage, the vessels of the appendix, it should be drained into the ileocolic lymph nodes. Okay. And the nerve supply, that is the sympathetic nerve supply, which related with the pain sensation from the appendix, and which is derived from the T10 spinal segment. Okay. And the superior mesenteric plexus. Then the parasympathetic nerve supply, it is derived from both of the vagus nerve. Okay. And the microscopic structure of the appendix, that is it should be covered by same 4 layer, that is the mucosa, submucosa, muscular layer, and the serosa. So here in this diagram you can see, that is the different layers of the appendix, this one. So that is the innermost layer, This is the mucosal layer. Then the second layer, that is the submucosal layer, this one. Then the muscular layer, that consists of the circular muscular coat, and this is the longitudinal muscular coat, and outermost layer that is made by the serosa. Okay, so this is, and last one, that is the mesoappendix. So these are the layers which is present into the appendix. Then the clinical relations with the appendix, that is the common clinical point, that is the appendicitis. So that is the inflammation of the appendix. It is called the appendicitis. And the acute appendicitis, it is the common occurrence, and that is the surgical emergency. And the pain of that is the appendicitis, that should be occurs into the right iliac fossa at the region of the McBurney's point. Okay? Then the treatment of that is the appendix, it is the appendicectomy, means that is surgical removal of the appendix. Okay? And to diagnose the appendicitis, that is the Suas test is done. That is, whenever you want to test the Suas test, that is, patient have to lie in the supine position, and the force extension of the right thigh in such a patient causes increase the pain into the right iliac fossa. So that should be confirmed diagnosis of the appendicitis. Okay? Then we should have to see, that is the different part of the colon. So colon, it should be divided into that the ascending colon, then the transverse colon, then the descending colon, and the sigmoid colon. So first we should have to see, that is the ascending colon. So it is the upward continuation of the cecum, and it is near about 5 inches in length. So 5 inches means near about 12.5 centimeter. And it is extends from cecum and from the ileocecal orifice to the inferior surface of right lobe of liver, and where it should be bent into the left side to form the right hepatic flexure of the colon. So this one. Okay? Then it lies in the right paracolic gutter and covered by the peritoneum on the front side, okay, which is binds to that posterior abdominal wall. So most of part of that is the ascending colon, it is fixed. Okay? So during its course from the cecum, it under surface of the liver, it crosses the 3 nerves, and below to this cutaneous, lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh, ilioinguinal nerve, and hypogastric nerve. And anteriorly it is related with the coils of small intestine and the right edge of the greater omentum. Okay? After then we should have to see, that is the transverse colon, this one, green color part. So it is the longest part of the large intestine, and the length of this part, that is near about the 20 inch or 50 centimeter in length, and most of this part that is movable because that should be covered by the transverse mesocolon. Okay? It extends from the right colic flexure, or that is also called the right hepatic flexure, in the right lumbar region, then go to the left side to the left colic flexure, or that is called the left splenic flexure. Okay? Then it is, as the name called, the transverse colon, but it is not the transversely present, but it forms the dependent loop. Here you can see that should be forming the dependent loop in front of the loop of the small intestine between the right and the left colic flexure. So this is the right colic flexure, and this is the left colic flexure. Okay? And it is extend up to the level of the umbilicus, but it should be extend sometimes into the pelvis. Thus the transverse colon is usually the U shape. So here you can see that is the U shape. Okay? After then we should have to see, that is the transverse mesocolon. So this one. So the transverse colon, it is suspended from the posterior abdominal wall by a large double layer of the fold of the peritoneum. So that is called the transverse mesocolon. ठीक है, एंड इट इज फ्यूज विद द पोस्टीरियर सरफेस ऑफ द ग्रेटर ओमेंटम एंड डिवाइड्स इनटू द पेरिटोनियल कैविटी इनटू सुप्रा एंड इंफ्राकोलिक कंपार्टमेंट्स, ठीक है. So here in this diagram you can see that is the transverse mesocolon, so this one. Then next to it, that is we should have to see that is the descending colon. So here in this diagram you can see that is the descending colon, this one, that the yellow color part. So descending colon, it is longer, that is near about the 25 centimeter. It is narrower and more deeply located than the ascending colon, ठीक है. It extends from the left colic flexure. So here you can see it is extends from the left colic flexure to the front of the left external iliac artery at the level of pelvic brim, and where it is continuous with the sigmoid colon. So this one. It is covered by peritoneum on the front side and sides. So this fixes in the left paracolic gutter and the iliac fossa. So that is the descending colon. It is mostly fixed because that is only anteriorly and laterally covered and present into that the paracolic gutter, ठीक है. Then the relations and the course. So it descends vertically downwards from the left colic flexure to the right iliac fossa, and during its course it passes in front of the three muscles and the three nerves. The muscles are the quadratus lumborum, transverse abdominis and the iliacus, and the nerves are the iliohypogastric nerve, ilioinguinal nerve and lateral cutaneous nerve of the thigh, ठीक है. Distal part, then the distally it turns medially to from the left iliac fossa to the front of the left external iliac vessel. So here during this course it passes in front of the femoral nerve, the psoas major muscle and the testicular vessels, and the genitofemoral nerve and the left external iliac vein, ठीक है. After then we should have to see that is the sigmoid colon. So this one. So sigmoid colon, blue color here you can see, it is about 15 inches or 37.5 centimeter long, and it connects the descending colon with the rectum. So here you can see this is the descending colon and it is attached to that the rectum. So here you can see that is the rectum, ठीक है. It is S shape. So whenever you can see anteriorly it can be feel like the S shape, so that is called the sigmoid colon, ठीक है. Then it extends from the lower end of the descending colon at the left pelvic inlet to the pelvic surface of the third piece of the sacrum here, where it becomes continue with the rectum. So during its course it forms the sinus loop which hangs free in the lesser pelvis, and this pelvis it lies in front of the bladder and the uterus and below the loops of the ileum, ठीक है. Then the sigmoid colon consists of the three parts. The first part which runs the downwards in contact with the left pelvic wall. The second part transverses the pelvic cavity horizontally, and the third part which run backward to reach the midline front of the third sacral vertebra. So here in this region, ठीक है. Then the pelvic mesocolon. So here in this diagram you can see that is the pelvic mesocolon, this one, sigmoid mesocolon, ठीक है. So sigmoid colon it should be suspended from the pelvic wall by a large peritoneal fold called the sigmoid mesocolon, and the sigmoid mesocolon it has inverted V-shaped attachment. So here you can see that is the V-shaped attachment, ठीक है. So that is the sigmoid mesocolon.